Hey, everybody, got your bottle opener ready for the Marketing Happy Hour. See, I got your attention in the first 3 seconds. Welcome to the Marketing Happy Hour. Today, we are talking about, we're calling it how to market to a goldfish, but that was just to get your attention because goldfish are allegedly notoriously small in their attention span. I'm Dr. Christopher Vogelmann of drvogelmann.com, and with me, as always, is John Paduchak.
JohnPaduchak.com.
What you're interesting, your sound is a little different today.
Oh, that is strange.
And
okay, hello.
We also have Dr. Kayvon Kay.
Another Wednesday, another happy hour. Hello, everyone. This is Coach K, helping entrepreneurs get things done and implement things from simplify.zone.
And remember, you're never alone with simplify.zone.
I love that.
That's fine. I'm working on what is it? Voiceover talent for John's got a project. Yeah, John's got a project.
Playing around with.
Yeah. I should record that and it'll add like a little reverb to it, and
I can give it to you.
Yeah.
It'll be a bumper for you. Yeah, before and after. Hey, so let's talk video. This is John's specialty. We talked briefly about the first 3 seconds to grab people's attention.
Yes.
Do you feel grabbed?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I
just want to make sure. And so for today, we also had this. This was the video I put up just a little while ago.
What did you do with the fish? Oh, there he is.
There he is. Well, no, it's like a 20-second or 15-second video or so. I love this little guy. He grabbed my attention.
Mine
then
too.
He disappears. Then you got to hit him again in order to get this to go. If I was smarter, I'd be able to create an endless loop. But I am not by any means a video editor. I'm just a guy who likes to play with Canva. So there we go. All right. Speaking of playing, John loves to play.
I do.
With video.
Yes.
And those of you who are watching, most of you will see this on the replay. Please do the hashtag replay to let us know that you're A-OK with watching us. And if you have any questions or comments or other topics you'd like us to discuss, just drop them in below this video in whatever 8 or 10 places you are watching. So not that you're going to watch in all 10 places, but
no, well, we'll figure it out from there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, John, let's talk about, so one of the things, I think we talked about the statistic, which was that by 2022, 83% of all internet traffic will be video. So tell us a little bit about what you do for video, and maybe you can even touch upon the 4 fears.
Oh, I can definitely do that. So just a little bit about what I do for video. I really try to keep video simple because I think video tends to get overly produced, overly done, and try to keep video easy because I think it's one of those things that is very daunting for a lot of people. They look at it and they say, oh, I see people doing all these fancy videos. I can't do that. Well, you don't have to. The beauty is that you can just do live video or be very authentic with your video and still get your point across. So I try to, I'm like the new Andy Jenkins. Andy Jenkins used to say that, I teach people the 20% of video they need to do to get 80% of the results. And I like to think I try to do kind of the same thing. In my own way.
The creator of Video Genesis. What was he? He was working with Mike Filsame too, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. But that's what Andy used to always say. And so one of the big things that I run into when I first start working with people is, they're usually afraid of a couple of things. They're afraid of getting their face on camera. They aren't sure what they're going to say or whether they've got enough material to kind of keep on going or whether people are really even interested in what they have to say. And then, of course, they usually are afraid of the technology. There's all kinds of equipment and, all of those things. And really all we need to do most video is our own Pocket Studio.
Mm-hmm.
iPhone or Android. So we can do most of our video right from our phone.
You mean like the Instagram Reels?
Exactly. And then, of course, the final thing is they aren't really sure how video is going to fit into their business. So usually we'll sit down and we'll have a conversation about, okay, what do you want to do with video? What are you trying to accomplish? and try to work that in, because there's really no better way for people to get to know, love, and trust you faster.
Yes, makes sense.
Yeah.
That kind of is related to, I think it's related to the question that I had for you, because Chris mentioned that the popularity of video is going to go higher and higher. But even without that, what are some of the reasons that video is superior?
One of the things that proved it to me early on, I don't know if I shared this with you. I'm sure I've shared it with Dr. V. But I met my wife early on back in the 90s through a video dating service.
Uh-huh.
And that's what
Hubba
kind of
hubba.
I know, right? And that's what kind of sold me on video, in that. So back in the day, it's not like dating now, but I'm sure dating today, the video is what sells most people on the date, or cements the date.
Well, you're swiping left and right now without a video, just a photo. So
but there are
maybe they should add the video feature to that too.
Be interesting. Yeah, Tinder video, TV.
Maybe they should. So anyway, back in the day, you would go and you would look up the profiles, and you would say, "Oh, I really like this person. This looks like somebody I'd really like to meet." And then you would go and you would pull out the I can't remember if it was beta or VHS, but the actual videotape of the person that you wanted to meet, and watch their videotape. And what I realized back then is, like, the videotape was like the deal breaker. It was like you would be seeing the video of the woman who looked awesome, and then she's got the voice of like fingernails on a chalkboard.
You mean something like this?
Yeah, something like that. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so there were all these different things, but the video was really the thing that cemented the relationship. And I think that's true with video with us today. It's the one way that people really get a clue as to inside our personality. We'll say something that might resonate with them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a real tight connection that you just can't get with writing. People get a little bit with your voice, but not quite the same with video. They get to see your mannerisms. They get to, see how you talk, and you give them a lot to connect with.
A majority of communication is nonverbal, so all of it comes through the video, but not from the writing. Yes.
Correct.
But don't you, when you're addressing video, like image quality, say camera versus audio quality, don't you defer to sound?
I do. Early on when I started working with video, one of my friends was a podcaster, and he said something to me that really kind of caught me a little bit by surprise, but it made perfect sense after he said it. And he said that, what you want to do when you do your video is make sure that you really optimize for your sound quality. And the reason for that is, especially our generation, we remember our mother cooking, making lunch, or doing whatever, and maybe watching something on TV in the background, kind of listening to that, or the old radio shows, those kinds of things we used to listen to and connect with, kind of in the background. And that's really true with the sound quality of video today. You want to make sure that your sound is really optimized so that you get that resonance of sound, that warmth of sound that you can kind of feel.
Well, think of the popularity of satellite radio too, like XM and all these other things, where sound is the big thing. And then it's interesting because the transition for some people is to subsequently view somebody in studio whom they've been listening to for years. And that seems to be the transition. Podcasters are doing more video podcasting now, and video creators are even more concerned than ever before with the audio, because you can convey that inflection that the image, and that's one of the things I think it always concerns me. It's like, is nonverbal communication more important or not? And if you're listening to audiobooks, you never have the nonverbal cues.
No.
Yeah, it's very hard for the nonverbal cues over there. But John, what you just mentioned about the advice from your podcaster friend, I'm not sure if I understood it. So, does this mean that applications that they remove the background noise, is that not recommended because we want to create the ambience, or do we want a clear sound, which is remove the background and all of that? I
think we want a clear sound and remove the background. What I'm talking about is just You want the warmth of sound, the depth of sound that you get from really optimizing and fine tuning that.
Yeah.
It's not so much the background noise. It's just that we used to listen to stuff in the background,
Yeah.
and there was like a certain warmth and ambience, resonance to that attracted us to it.
Well, it reminds me of the occasional pop and hiss from playing an LP record on a record player.
Yes.
Yeah, that drives me crazy after a while.
Oh no, I love that.
Okay, so how do we do that,
That's
John?
the other sound, though.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
How do you, like, after trying to record with the best quality? Is there some sort of a treatment or filter or enhancement that we can do to the audio?
Not really treatment or filter. I mean, you could run it through a soundboard to improve the quality, but typically, you just want to make sure that you've got a good solid mic in front of you. You know that you're close enough to the mic. You're not super far away. So there's a big difference in all of those things. Just the simple things of getting your sound quality right.
Don't eat your mic.
Yeah. No. But just get the simple right things right.
Got it.
So when one of the things you're talking about with editing sound, one of the easiest things I found is just on my MacBook Pro. I just go into iMovie and I can actually split out sound from the video itself, and I can amplify the sound if it's too loud in certain sections and decrease the sound. And that's just a simple modification if somebody's a little too soft, especially on an interview show.
Yes, and they even make some. I'm trying to think of the app that automates some of that, but there's some apps now that even
Audacity.
What was that?
Audacity.
Yeah.
Well, Audacity
to a certain extent, but
it's editing.
It sounds like Audacity. It's like Ophony or
Veracity, cacophony.
It's not that.
Not knowing much about sound editing, what I have done before is I just use a normalized filter to cut all of the really loud ones to bring everything
down and in line a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, what about when we're talking about video? What about short form video versus long form? So we tend to go long in this program. We've done hour and a half long programs, and then there seems to be a tendency, or a trend, I should say, towards going to shorter and shorter form content.
Right, and there's even now somebody was just mentioned to me the other day in a group that Mari Smith was saying that Facebook now our longer videos they're just deleting after a certain period of time, like after 30 days. And
are we going to get deleted here?
I don't know.
What is a longer video? Like more than 30 minutes or more than half an hour? What?
I think I would say more than like a half an hour.
Huh.
And actually, I wouldn't be surprised if they're deleting all video after 30 days. To be honest,
I guess this is the one that you like post publicly to your wall, but not in your group. Like if you have one of those units that it's a course you're teaching people something to people, those shouldn't go away.
Right.
They probably shouldn't. I couldn't imagine that they would do that.
And no, they wouldn't do it inside your group, I don't believe, but I do think that they would do it inside your profile and pages.
Well, there also seems to be an optimal length of videos nowadays. They get shorter and shorter. I had somebody tell me yesterday that I should do a video no more than 8 minutes on YouTube. And then somebody else was talking. Well, we talked about the Hi-Ho Video, which is a video chatting app similar to Clubhouse, but it's videos.
5 minutes.
I don't know if I want them.
For Hi-Ho's 5 minutes.
I think they want to know if I'm happy with my long distance service.
Oh, never know.
But anyway, Hi-Ho is interesting because it's a 5-minute video max, and it really is it's a reminder of Clubhouse, but video. It's got that little. Gary Vee is the one who. That's that little icon right there, the little purple thing.
Yeah, I want to say I think 4 to 6 is kind of a sweet spot. But the going back to the thing with Facebook deleting videos, I think that just goes back to you want to constantly try to keep your material in a place that you control. You want to back up your videos to maybe Amazon S3 or Wasabi or somewhere where you have access to them.
Which reminds me, after the broadcast, we need to talk about wasabi, because I have not been, the only place I've put most of these videos really is still, YouTube, but it is 1080, and I'm actually okay with the 1080 that's there, but it can't be stored there forever. So
Right. So, and YouTube has constantly stood the test of time and not deleting videos. So I expect them to keep following suit with that. And it's such a huge library of information, people creating tons of how-to videos, etc. over there. So I would expect that to continue. It's all about controlling your video, putting it in the right places so that it stays up and has life and longevity.
Also, find your mute button when you're going to sneeze on a video.
That's important.
Fortunately, I had left it hovering over there. So what about, how do you address the subject of things like Reels and TikTok and all the other videos that seem to be in the 15-second range? It would seem that grabbing people's attention is one of the most important things. I've heard some people say it's the first 3 seconds that you have to watch out for. What do you think about that in terms of getting those eyeballs and earballs?
Yeah, I think that's true. I think people's attention spans are getting shorter. We often jokingly say that it's equivalent or less than the attention span of a goldfish, which is, what do we say? Under 5 minutes, 5 seconds?
Well, so
this is like 6 seconds.
Yeah.
9 seconds is what I saw here. 12 seconds was another one. The BBC had an article which interviewed a whole bunch of different researchers. And it turns out that's actually a myth about the goldfish, as it is with human beings. Because the reality is, that attention span is task dependent. So if you're doing something that really interests you, you'll stay focused for a long period of time. But I think the problem is that we're in a scrolling world and everybody's scrolling through all of their feeds. And so how do you get somebody to just stop their scroll for just a moment?
Yes. So
but fish are smarter than you think they are.
I would agree.
As a Pisces, I have to defend my pescatory profile.
Pescatory.
So I would say that, obviously the shorter, I think, the better for most material, unless you've got something that is incredibly interesting, that's longer, over a longer time period. We even create shorter videos that attract people to longer videos.
Well, I'm thinking also about, I've seen a trend over the last at least 5 to 7 years. Well, actually, no, really the last 3 to 4 years, where videos that are contained within digital courses are getting chunked down into smaller and smaller segments. So instead of doing a 30-minute video, you'll find it's broken up into 6 5-minute segments, for example.
Yeah.
Which gives you the illusion that you're getting more material when it's really the same 30 minutes.
Right.
But it's easier to consume.
Yeah, bite-sized pieces. It's like that ant eating the elephant.
And with webinars now, we're seeing shorter ones, instead of the typical 90 minutes, 60 minutes plus Q&A, we're seeing like these shorter 20, 30 minute, even 6-minute power webinars.
Yeah, that's the one that fascinates me, the 6-minute webinar.
Yeah. You were talking about, one of the resistances that we have. We don't know what to say and not sure, how do we... and we are also talking about the length of the video. That's one of the tricks that I have done for myself to create better content or better videos. These are all for clients, so not for public. But anyway, like for example, I use Loom or other applications like that. I intentionally don't go beyond the free version because it allows me only, 3 minutes or 5 minutes.
Right.
I don't have the longer video luxury. So I find that by putting that restriction on myself, I end up being more precise, more concise, and get to the point and have a better message.
That's a good idea. I mean, anytime you can make the message more concise, more straightforward, I think people are going to be more apt to listen.
Yeah, I just did an 11-second reel about a 2 hours before we were live here. I'm very interested to see how the 11-second one works. Oh, goodbye, Kayvon. Compared to the 30-second one that I did a couple weeks ago.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, I tried to dissect these things and figure out what's going on. I wonder if Kayvon got a call.
I don't know.
What was opportunity calling?
It could be. I mean, we all try to
least
do that. We all experiment with
Yeah.
the length of content and trying to make things shorter, trying to make things longer, just see how it resonates with people.
Well, and then I think you look at it also from the standpoint, we've said this over and over again, that marketing is an endless series of experiments, and sometimes things just don't work well. Like, for example, a little while ago, I did my first ever. Oh, he came back to us. It feels
Nice.
like Nicole Kidman and was it Brokeback Mountain? You came back to me.
Oh,
There, he
hello.
came back.
Yeah.
Hello.
Did I get your
And
attention by having a short little
welcome.
video?
Yes, welcome to the Marketing Happy Hour.
Yeah.
Simple. And remember, you're never alone with Simplify.zone.
Deja vu, deja vu.
All over again.
Yeah, you had me thinking about something there that we were.
Yeah, we were talking about length and stuff. I was just talking about I did an Instagram reel a little bit before we went live, and it was 11 seconds long. I actually thought I was like over 15 seconds. And I'm interested to see how it performs, the 11-second compared to the 30-second one that I did a couple of weeks ago. And dissecting them is a very interesting thing because I'm trying to find ways to make those first 3 seconds the most engaging possible. But doing a YouTube short, which was my first one ever, I basically recorded the same message, but on YouTube, and then I uploaded it. But what I failed to recognize is that YouTube has not yet embraced the vertical format, and it was horizontal format. And so you have this skinny little video in the middle with the blank sides to it. And then it created the most god-awful thumbnail with my eyes like bugged out into space. And so I had to quickly create a thumbnail in Canva, upload that to YouTube. And for some reason, the old thumbnail keeps showing up in different places on Facebook, but it doesn't show up in other browsers. So fortunately, on the tube of you, it looks okay. But I think sometimes you have to be very careful with thumbnails. I thought that was one thing that I've learned a lot, is that when you look at the Marketing Happy Hour, or you look at my feed or Total Health Live, you'll see they've tried to create a variety of thumbnails so it's easy to see. And as you walk away from it, it almost looks like it's a tapestry of sorts, with the different colors and the different messages and things. And I think the thumbnails on YouTube, I've been told by several people to do more pictures of yourself, put more pictures of yourself in there, but also to keep extremely short titles or use very few words in the thumbnail to grab people's attention. So that's just stuff I'm learning nowadays.
Yeah, you were talking about Canva. So I went into the templates that they have for YouTube thumbnails, and I picked one with that kind of a thing, picture of the person. So I switched it with my own picture, and also just a box for title. So whatever words that I can put in there, which is not going to be more than 3 or 4, for that reason, because I looked at all of the thumbnails as a user, and I noticed that one is getting my attention. So I'm using that. And speaking of getting the attention at the beginning, I was watching this video by Joe Benson. Is John Benson? Yeah, John Benson.
John Benson, yeah, Jon, short for Jonathan.
So he recently started his YouTube channel, and he has a 6-part series about VSLs. And one of the points he was making was about how to get started. Which was about, tell him about the main point or the story, because so many people start, hi, I'm so-and-so, and this is what I do, and this is where I'm from, and all of that. He says, no, you start with the point, and also like a attention grabbing thing. His example was, I wanted to tell you about this jacket that I'm wearing that helped me lose 45 pounds. Stay tuned. Like, he didn't say
it has no
is,
pockets. It has no pockets for snacks. That's the
yeah. So a start like that, as you can see, is very much more powerful than, hi, this
much
is
more
so-and-so from this city, or that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So
I think that's super important, because the other thing is that YouTube listens to the very first words that you say, and they give that a lot of weight in the SEO. So if you're doing a video on, hey, today I'm doing a series on short videos. I'm John Paduchak, and I'm going to be walking through blah, 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 blah. So it's that is a really good format to follow. Make sure you say what you're going to say first. And
or would you start? Would you introduce yourself, or would you start with the topic?
You start with the topic,
then introduce yourself. Yeah.
Then introduce yourself.
I've seen that with James Schramko and his Superfast Business podcast. They take his team takes a tiny quote from somewhere inside the podcast and uses it as a bumper before the actual intro.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then says, "Hey,
it's pretty sophisticated."
The Superfast Business.
I would say, and speaking of sophisticated, here we go.
It's pretty sophisticated.
I know it's pretty sophisticated.
Yeah, if that's our level of sophistication, we're in trouble.
This is I'm just fascinated that Canva actually has. Well, first of all, I've never used the Streamyard function for sharing a video. I think it's pretty awesome. I mean, there's no sound to this video, but the other thing is, I just think it's just funny. I'm not sure if this is going to work as well as a thumbnail or not. Oh, he's really slowing down though. I'm going to get rid of him.
But it is. It's an attraction factor. It's motion. Motion catches our eye.
Yeah.
I'm removing him, in fact, from the stream. Sorry.
The fish was getting distracted.
The fish was distracted by John.
Yes. And I was distracted by the fish.
So among the four fears, hey, where are we in terms of time, by the way?
We are about 3 minutes.
Wow, 26 minutes already. So is there anything else that you want to add, John, about this? I've already set up the clubhouse. Miracle. Miracle of miracles. And because we are going to Clubhouse after this 30-minute-ish broadcast ends.
You could finish asking me what you were going to ask me.
I don't know what I was going to ask you. Kevin has more thoughtful questions than I do today.
Oh.
Well, I thought for that video sharing option, you could have shared your phone screen as, hey, we're going to meet you on Clubhouse. So next time it can be beside our faces as a promotion to go to. So there we go. That's a video feature to promote something in the middle of something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what I could do is just hold it up here saying, hey, here we are in Clubhouse. And what I can do is I can just feature me.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And that makes it nice and big. There we are. See?
Yep. Cut the rest of us out.
I cut you out of the picture. Well, no,
thank you very much.
But your faces are on there. Your faces are right on there in the House of Clouds.
I am so happy that I came up with that idea.
Yeah, well, see, that's how it works.
You got
Don't give me any ideas. I have the controls.
Right.
I will be careful next time.
You got what you asked for.
Yeah, what you asked for is right. Yeah. So, my final question would be, John, about things like TikTok or Reels or things like that. I mean, we've been talking about creating a course or a workshop for that.
We have.
And I think it's just a question of experimenting enough with it. And for those who are interested in using video to create digital courses and workshops and other things like that, what kind of advice do you have for those people?
Just try to keep it authentic. And don't worry about what you're going to look like when you get started, because you're going to be horrible. So that's all.
At the beginning.
At the beginning.
Well,
you're going to be terrible at the beginning, but like anything, the more you practice, the better you get. So,
I didn't wear hats at first, but now I got the whale hat.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to wear the fish shirt because we're talking about goldfish today. So
yes,
that's as authentic as I get, people.
So that's the biggest advice: is just be authentic, be you, and good things will happen.
Yeah, I'm going to drop that. We still have only about 60 seconds left, but I'm going to drop that link. I didn't want to post it on Twitter right away, but I have to post on Twitter now to get people. Twitter has what is it? 2 minutes of life, or is it 28 minutes total? I think something like that. And then your tweets just disappear into the Twitter
barrage of other tweets coming in.
Yeah, it's sad. It's really sad. Anyway, so if you have any more questions or comments about videos, and I know most of you, as I mentioned earlier, hashtag replay on there because we do read your comments and get to them. I do apologize to Jeannie, who I didn't see her comment for 3 full days under our previous video. Yeah, and it was bad, but that was my bad on that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I got to check my feed more often. So speaking of feeding, that usually involves drinking too. I hope you've had a good beverage.
That's why we're going to the club.
And that's why we're going to the club, because the clubhouse is where we're going to continue this conversation. So Join us again next week for another amazing edition of the Marketing Happy Hour. And if you have any other types of topics you want us to discuss, please drop them in under the videos. And I promise, Scout's honor, to follow up with you. All right.
Yes.
That's it for
Very
now.
good.
See you over in
Clubhouse.
Clubhouse. I will drop the link below this video. Okay. Bye-bye.